If these words have found you right now, it's not by accident. It's an appointment. For months, your soul has been whispering that something has shifted. Not outside, but within. You've endured the long night, walked through the fire that doesn't destroy, but refines. And while the world thought nothing was happening, something sacred was being rebuilt inside you. Now, a rare window opens, a moment in time that pulls you from almost into now. If you can feel that pull, take a deep breath and silently say, I'm here. Because from this point forward, we won't talk about vague promises. We'll talk about evidence, the hidden logic behind the pain, the reason you had to lose before you could receive, and the precise moment when what you've become inside finally begins to manifest on the outside. You didn't imagine the signs, the sudden exhaustion, the strange peace amid uncertainty, the doors that once resisted and now begin to open. All of it is the overture to something real. Call it divine timing, synchronicity, or cosmic justice. It's the same intelligence rearranging your path, closing chapters that serve their purpose, and removing what can't follow you into your next level. What's coming doesn't need noise, it needs presence. It doesn't ask you to prove anything. It asks you to recognize who you've become. There's a point of no return in every awakening, and you've reached it. Before we go any deeper, anchor your readiness with a simple act. Write 777 anywhere, even if it's just in your heart. It's not superstition, it's alignment. A sacred reminder that says, I have completed the cycle. I am ready to receive. And if what you're hearing resonates, if something in you knows these words are meant for you, subscribe now. Don't wait. Click that button as an act of faith, a declaration that you are open to what's next. Because what you're about to discover in the next few moments won't just inspire you, it will shift you. The confusion will fade, the path will clear, and everything that once felt uncertain will, finally, make sense. You didn't just survive a difficult season, you were tempered by it. There is a difference between pain that breaks and pain that forges. What you walked through was the latter. The betrayals, the delays, the doors that would not open no matter how hard you knocked. None of it was random, and none of it was punishment. It was the slow, precise work of a master craftsman removing what could not carry the weight of your calling. When the furnace burns hottest, impurities rise to the surface. In you, they rose as old identities, outdated loyalties, and habits that once kept you safe but could never make you free. You shed versions of yourself you had outgrown, even the ones you loved, and in their place, a quieter power began to emerge. Not loud, not performative, but unmistakable. This is why people keep telling you that you seem different without being able to name how. They are feeling the afterglow of a private resurrection. On the outside, your life may still look ordinary, but inside the coordinates have shifted. What you value is clearer. What you tolerate is smaller. What you're made for is no longer theoretical. That inner reorientation created a gap, a brief stretch of time when your inner world outpaced your outer circumstances. I call it reality lag. It is the moment when your soul is already living in the new, while your life still carries traces of the old. That lag is not failure, it is physics. Transformation always completes inside before it becomes visible outside. You have not been stuck, you have been sinking. If you look closely, you can already see the first proofs of alignment. Decisions that used to drain you now feel effortless, because you no longer negotiate with your boundaries. Spaces that once held you feel too small, because your spirit no longer fits there. Conversations that once lured you into distraction hit dull and fall away, because truth has become your only oxygen. This is what readiness feels like. Not adrenaline, not urgency, but a calm certainty that the next chapter doesn't require you to be louder, only truer. The fire didn't make you hard, it made you whole. And wholeness is the exact frequency that calls your future into form. So, if the old life seems to be dissolving, even as the new one has not fully arrived, don't misread the in-between. What looks like emptiness is cleared runway. What feels like waiting is alignment catching up to you. You are not behind. You are precisely on time, standing at the seam where the unseen hands over the baton to the seam. From here, your role is simple and sacred. Hold the line of who you have become. Do not reach back for what the fire released. Do not dress today in yesterday's armor. Allow the life that matches your refinement to find you. And when it does, meet it without apology. There are seasons that ask you to wait, and seasons that ask you to wake. And this is the latter. Now matters because the world outside has finally caught up to the person you became inside the fire. For months, you were changing faster than your life could rearrange itself. That is why the rooms you once tolerated turned echo cold. Why old conversations felt like wearing a coat that never fit. Why effort stopped producing results in places you had already outgrown. The lag was not punishment. It was physics. Your frequency rose and your reality needed time to retune. This window is the click you can feel. The moment the lock turns and the door you kept pushing from the wrong side opens as soon as you pull. Now matters because clarity is present, and clarity compresses time. When you know who you are, decisions stop draining you. You do not argue with your intuition, you honor it. You do not audition for rooms that dim your light. You reserve your presence for assignments that require your full wattage. The signal is clean. What is aligned brings a steady peace beneath the nerves. And what is not aligned brings sand in the gears no matter how beautifully it is packaged. In this window, reality responds to your edges. The boundaries you enforce become the blueprint of what approaches. The standards you embody become the speed limit of your blessings. Speak from conviction, not from fear of being misunderstood. And watch how swiftly people, places, and possibilities sort themselves around your yes and your no. Now matters because momentum prefers stewardship over spectacle. This is not a call to sprint or to prove anything. It is an invitation to move without the static of the old story. Let your mornings be thresholds and your evenings be altars. Enter the day with intention like a key, one clear action that matches your next identity. And close the day with gratitude like a seal. You do not need a dozen dramatic gestures. You need one honest alignment, repeated until it becomes your resting posture. When you act from that posture, the path that looked fogged will begin to reveal itself in segments, each step lighting only as your foot arrives. Enough to move forward, not enough to invite doubt to take the wheel. Now matters because unfinished cycles are asking to be closed so new ones can legally begin. The universe is not withholding. It is waiting for you to stop hosting what keeps you heavy. Forgiveness is not a favor to your past. It is a passport for your future. Releasing the roles you played to survive is not betrayal. It is a coronation. The moment you stop defending what pains you, energy returns, and with it comes the courage to choose differently. You will notice the difference immediately. What drains you will demand explanations. What is meant for you will require decisions. Now matters because your purpose is no longer a whisper. It is instruction. The gifts you used in secret want a public assignment. The lessons you paid for in tears want a wider classroom. The peace that found you in the dark wants to be the light you carry into rooms that still believe sunrise is a rumor. You are not being hurried. You are being harmonized. Step where peace and stretch overlap and call that place direction. Protect the signal. Reduce the noise. Let your standards speak first. And when the door that recognizes your name swings open, do not ask for another sign. Walk through and let your life be the proof. There comes a moment in every storm where the wind does something strange. It does not simply fade. It changes direction. That is where you are standing now. For a long time, it felt as though everything was pushing against you, as if life itself was leaning on your chest, making it hard to breathe, hard to hope, hard to move. But when heaven decides the refining season is complete, The very wind that once opposed you begins to carry you. This is the great reversal. It does not arrive with fanfare. It arrives through shifts that feel almost unreal at first. People who once looked untouchable in their arrogance suddenly begin to lose the platforms they used to mock you. Situations that were stacked against you begin to fold in on themselves. Doors that once slammed in your face are quietly taken off their hinges. You are not watching karma as entertainment. You are witnessing divine order returning to your story. And somewhere deep in your spirit, you will feel the truth of it. This is not revenge. This is balance. Divine justice, when it shows up, is never about your ego being satisfied. It is about your path being cleared. The ones who lied on your name, who exploited your kindness, who took advantage of your confusion, they are not being punished for you as much as they are being removed from your future. Their masks start to slip. Their alliances crumble. Positions they built on sand begin to slide. You may hear of losses they're experiencing, of doors closing for them, of chaos they once wished on you turning up at their own front door. And part of your heart may ache because you are still you, compassionate, sensitive, aware. But heaven will whisper, do not interfere. This is not your burden to fix. This is the consequence of seeds they chose to plant. Your role is not to gloat, not to announce, I told you so, but to quietly step out of the way and let justice do what justice does. Every time you resist the urge to step back into a battle that is no longer yours, you move further into the life that is. At the same time, a different kind of news will begin to find you, and it will feel almost suspicious at first. Invitations will appear that you did not chase. People of integrity will start to notice you without you having to shout to be seen. A solution to a problem that has haunted you for months will arrive in a casual conversation, a random email, a chance meeting that feels anything but chance. Income may appear from forgotten sources. A yes may arrive in an area where you had already grieved the no. What used to require begging, convincing, and exhausting effort will begin to come through alignment instead of strain. You will catch yourself saying, "Where did that come from?" And you will know the answer even if your mind tries to rationalize it. This is the harvest from seeds you sowed in tears, now returning as fruit you are finally ready to hold. Nothing is just happening to you. What looks sudden is simply the visible part of a process that has been unfolding for years in the unseen. Alongside these external shifts, something even more important will rise inside you. Unmistakable clarity about why you are still here. That vague feeling of being meant for more that once tormented you will begin to crystallize into a direction. A pattern will show itself in everything you have survived. You will notice that the very themes of your deepest pain are the same themes others now seek you out for. Where you were once lost, you will become a guide. Where you were once silenced, you will become a voice. Where you were once broken, you will become a bridge. Your purpose will not arrive as a job title written in the sky. It will flow out of who you have become. It will feel less like inventing a new life and more like finally admitting who you have been underneath the hurt. And as you begin to move in that purpose, the heaviness that used to greet you each morning will loosen its grip. You will walk differently, not because everything is perfect, but because you finally understand that nothing was wasted. Then, almost without noticing when it started, you will realize that light has replaced the old constant darkness. Not a performance of positivity, but a genuine shift in atmosphere. You will wake up and feel a softness in the air around you, a quiet excitement you have not felt since you were a child. Tasks that once felt impossible will become manageable. Moments of joy will stretch longer than the flashes of fear. Instead of bracing for the next crisis, you will find yourself anticipating the next opening. The world will not suddenly become flawless, but your experience of it will change. Light is not the absence of all struggle. It is the presence of meaning, guidance, and grace within it. In this new chapter, Your nervous system will slowly relearn safety. Your heart will relearn trust. Your spirit will relearn how to dream without apologizing for it. And perhaps the most tender part of this great reversal is this: what was taken from you will begin to return in new, multiplied forms. The love you begged for in the wrong places will arrive as connection that does not require you to shrink. The resources you lost in confusion will be replaced by opportunities that allow you to build with wisdom. The time you thought you had wasted will reveal itself as training you could never have bought. Old dreams may come back dressed in new clothing, bigger, cleaner, more aligned with who you are now instead of who you were then. You are not being given back the life you had. You are being entrusted with a life you could only hold after you became who you are now. That is the real miracle of this season. The blessing is not just what shows up. The blessing is that this time you are ready for it. There is a truth most people never want to hear. Heaven can open every right door for you, but it will not close the wrong ones for you. That part is yours. The universe can align timing, soften hearts, rearrange circumstances, and pour favor over your life. But if your hands are still wrapped around what is dying, you will not be able to hold what is being born. This window you are standing in right now is not just about what is coming toward you. It is about what you are finally willing to walk away from. And deep down, you already know what that is. You do not need another sign. You do not need another delay. You have been feeling the pull for months. The late-night conversations with people you know are no longer aligned with you. The job that leaves your spirit numb but your body too tired to move. The city that feels like a memory instead of a future. The habits that promised comfort but stole your clarity. None of them fit who you are becoming. They belong to a version of you that did not survive the fire. And yet, out of fear, nostalgia, guilt, or simple habit, you still leave the door cracked open for them to walk in and out of your life whenever they choose. This is the moment where that has to end. Not because you are angry, not because you need to make a dramatic announcement, but because your spirit cannot carry both futures at once. You cannot keep texting the past and expect your destiny to feel welcome. You cannot keep entertaining conversations that drain you and then wonder why you have no energy left for the opportunities heaven is sending. You cannot cling to the familiar pain of an old life and still step with both feet into a new one. At some point, the chosen one has to choose. And that choice rarely comes with fireworks. It comes in quiet, practical, holy decisions. Blocking the number that keeps pulling you backwards. Unsubscribing from the chaos you once called friendship. Finally, updating the resume you have avoided touching because you knew it would force you to admit you have outgrown your current role. Packing the box. Deleting the thread, saying, "No more." Not just with your words, but with your actions. Every time you close a door that God has been nudging you to close, you are not being cruel. You are being obedient to your future. You may feel for a moment like you are stepping into his emptiness. When you finally let go of the person you kept rescuing, when you finally decide you will not trade your peace for temporary attention, when you finally stop numbing yourself with the same old distractions, there is a silence that follows. It can feel terrifying. It can feel like loss all over again. But that silence is not abandonment. It is preparation. It is the sound of spiritual space clearing so something new can breathe. The reason your blessings felt delayed was never because heaven forgot you. It was because there was nowhere for them to land. The room was full. Your emotional house was crowded with ghosts of old identities, lost loves, expired roles. Now, as you begin to release them, as you begin to close doors on relationships, environments, and behaviors that no longer honor who you are in God, you will feel a strange mix of grief and relief washing through you. Let both exist. Grieve what is ending. Honor what those chapters taught you. And then, with tenderness, let them go. You are not betraying anyone by choosing alignment. You are simply refusing to betray yourself any longer. This sacred responsibility of closing old doors is the proof you truly believe what heaven has been whispering to you, that there is more and that you are worthy of it. Many pray for new levels, but when the moment comes, they cling to the ledge of the old one until their fingers bleed. You are being invited into a different response, not a frantic cutting of ties from a place of anger, but a calm, clear, grounded decision to only carry forward what matches the frequency of where you are going. Ask yourself honestly, if the future version of you, the one standing fully in peace, purpose, abundance, and spiritual authority, walked into your life today, which relationships would they still tolerate? Which environments would they still enter? Which habits would they still indulge? And which would they quietly, firmly, lovingly release? That is your blueprint. Not some distant fantasy, a mirror of the decisions you are being asked to make now, in this narrow but powerful window where your choices count more than you realize. You are not being punished by being asked to close these doors. You are being trusted. Trusted to protect the destiny you prayed for. Trusted to guard the anointing that survived the fire. Trusted to value your energy enough to stop spending it where it is misunderstood and misused. As you do this, as you let the old season end with dignity, something subtle but undeniable will begin to shift around you. The air will feel lighter. The confusion will thin. Invitations that used to tempt you will lose their pull. Your no will start to feel less like loss and more like liberation. And in that cleared space, the new doors, the real ones, the ones that align with your calling and your healing and your growth, will begin to appear. Not because they were not there before, but because, for the first time, you will be able to walk through them without dragging the past behind you. There is a truth almost no one tells you at the beginning of the journey. The moment you truly start to rise, the room will not stay silent. The energy around you shifts, and everything connected to you responds. People feel it even if they do not understand it. Environments that once felt familiar begin to feel tight. Conversations that used to entertain you suddenly feel empty. And some of the very faces that clapped for you in your struggle will flinch at the light you now carry in your breakthrough. This is not because you did something wrong. It is because your frequency changed, and anytime light increases, anything built in shadow becomes uncomfortable. You will notice it in subtle ways. Someone you always leaned on may start acting distant without explanation. A person who never paid much attention to you may suddenly become overly interested in what you are doing. But their questions feel invasive instead of supportive. Old patterns will try to slip back in, wrapped in new costumes. The invitation to one more situation that drains you. The message from someone you know is not good for you, arriving just when you are feeling uncertain. The opportunity that looks golden on the surface, but requires you to betray your own peace to accept it. None of this is random. This is spiritual resistance. This is the old reality testing whether you are truly done with it or only temporarily visiting a higher level. You are not being punished. You are being revealed. When God elevates a chosen one, He allows the surrounding environment to show its true face. That is why, as your spirit rises, some people will begin to feel strangely uncomfortable around you. They will say you have changed, as if that were a bad thing. They will say you are distant, when in reality you are simply no longer available for the drama and confusion that once kept you stuck. Some may even attempt to provoke you, hoping you will react the way you used to so they can convince themselves you are still the same. When this happens, remember what is really going on. Your transformation is shining a light on their stagnation. Your healing confronts their refusal to heal. Your courage exposes their fear. It is easier for them to attack your growth than to face their own reluctance to evolve. This is where many chosen ones stumble. They start to shrink themselves again to make everyone comfortable. They downplay their blessings. They hide their joy. They second-guess their decisions because someone who never did the work they did suddenly has an opinion. They step back into the old version of themselves just to keep the peace. But that kind of peace is a prison. You cannot protect everyone's comfort and still walk in your calling. You cannot dim your light just to keep people who prefer darkness from squinting. You were not refined in the fire just to crawl back into the ashes to make others feel better about staying there. In this new phase, your greatest protection will be your boundaries. Not boundaries made of anger or bitterness, but boundaries made of clarity. You are allowed to say no to conversations that drain your soul. You are allowed to step away from people who only show up when they need something. You are allowed to guard your plans and dreams instead of exposing them to those who secretly hope they fail. You are allowed to choose silence instead of defending yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. This is not being cold. This is being wise. This is spiritual stewardship. It is you finally treating your time, your energy, and your destiny as sacred. And understand this as well. Some of the backlash will not come from others. It will come from your own mind. Old thoughts will try to reappear, telling you that you are not ready, not worthy, not capable of living at this new level. The voice of fear will whisper that it is safer to stay small, that if you truly step into everything God has for you, you might lose people you love or fail in front of everyone. When that voice speaks, remember what you have already survived. You did not come this far just to be intimidated by imaginary disasters. You have faced real storms. You have walked through real darkness. You have stood in real pain. The fear that tries to pull you backward now is only the echo of an identity you have already outgrown. This is the season where you learn to move forward, even while the old world calls your name. You will feel the pull to go back, but you will know too much to return. You will see the traps you once fell into. You will recognize the patterns that used to control you. And with each conscious choice to honor your growth instead of your fear, you will become stronger, steadier, more anchored in who you truly are. The resistance will not disappear overnight, but it will lose its power when you stop negotiating with it. So when the room reacts, do not panic. Do not apologize for your elevation. Do not chase after the ones who choose to step away. Stand where God has placed you. Hold your head high, not in arrogance, but in quiet certainty. You are not the storm. You are the survivor of it. You do not have to prove anything to anyone. The same divine hand that brought you to this threshold will keep you as you step through it. Your only job now is to stop turning back every time you hear echoes from the past. The future you prayed for is calling you forward. The old world will do everything it can to keep you, but it no longer owns you. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey when the question quietly shifts from, when will things change for me, to, who am I meant to become for others? You are standing in that moment now. The storms, the refining, the separation, the inner rebirth, the backlash, the sudden clarity. None of it was random, and none of it was just about you having a better life. It was about shaping you into someone who can carry light without dropping it, truth without diluting it, and love without losing yourself in the process. For a long time, you begged heaven for breakthrough in very specific areas. The financial struggle that would not lift, the relationships that broke you open, the mental battles that made you question your own strength. You asked for relief, and the divine answered with transformation. Instead of only changing your circumstances, God changed you inside those circumstances. Now, as the external world prepares to catch up with who you have become, something even deeper is being asked of you. You are not just meant to survive this shift. You are meant to embody it. Think about it. There was a time when you could not see a way out. You looked at your life and saw nothing but closed doors and dead ends. Now, even if everything is not perfect yet, you can feel something different in the air around you. Ideas are forming. Desires that you buried are resurfacing. But this time, they do not feel like fantasies. They feel like instructions. You are beginning to understand that your purpose is written in the very places you thought disqualified you. The heartbreak you endured is the reason you can recognize silent pain in someone else's eyes. The battles you fought in your mind are the reason you now have compassion for people who look fine on the outside, but are falling apart inside. The times you had nothing and still chose to be generous, hopeful, kind. Those moments are the blueprint for the kind of leader you are becoming. Your mission is not hiding somewhere outside of you, waiting to be discovered like a lost object. It has been speaking through your story this whole time. Notice what your heart burns for now. Maybe you feel an unshakable pull to share your story publicly, even though it terrifies you. Maybe you feel called to start something new, a project, a business, a channel, a community. A small act of service that keeps tugging on your spirit no matter how many times you tell yourself you are not ready. Maybe you are realizing that what you once tolerated, you can no longer stand to see in others. Abuse, injustice, spiritual blindness, emotional numbness. That holy discomfort is not random. It is your assignment knocking. There will be a part of you that wants to wait a little longer. Until you have more money, more followers, more confidence, more confirmation. That part will tell you that you are still too broken, too behind, too unqualified to step out. But understand this. Your power is not in presenting a perfect image. Your power is in being real, in standing in front of the world as living proof that the divine can take someone who has been through the fire and turn them into a carrier of light. People do not need another flawless expert. They need someone whose scars still remember what the battle felt like, and whose eyes testify that survival is not the end of the story. Transformation is. From this point on, your life itself is the sermon. The way you speak to people who cannot offer you anything back. The integrity you hold when no one is watching. The choices you make when compromise would be easier and faster. The discipline you practice now that no one is forcing you. The peace you protect even when everything around you tries to pull you back into chaos. All of that is your calling in motion. You do not have to force it, brand it, frame it, or announce it. You simply have to walk in it. The right people will feel it. Those who are meant to find you will be guided by the same hand that guided you here. This is also the moment where you stop asking life only, "What will I receive?" and begin asking, "What will be different in this world because I was here?" That does not mean you must change millions of lives to be significant. Sometimes the greatest missions hide inside the smallest acts. A word spoken at the right time to someone on the edge, a work of art that quietly heals those who see it. A space you hold where people finally feel safe enough to be honest. A prayer you pray that no one hears but heaven. You may never know the full impact of your obedience, but heaven keeps perfect record. Nothing is wasted. And as you step into this role, not as a victim of your past, but as a steward of your future, something powerful happens. The same universe that once seemed to press you now begins to partner with you. Doors do not just open randomly. They open in alignment with your assignment. People do not just appear by chance. They are drawn into your orbit because your energy now carries direction. Resources begin to find you because you are no longer seeking them simply to feel safe, but so you can build what you are meant to build. The current of life that used to toss you around begins to feel like a river you can move with, not drown in. Will it all be easy from here? No. Purpose is not a vacation. It is a path. There will still be days when you doubt yourself, moments when you feel tired, seasons where you are asked to grow again. But you will not be walking blind anymore. You will know why you are here. You will know who walks with you. You will know that every new challenge is not punishment, but promotion, an invitation to expand your capacity so you can carry even more light without breaking. So breathe. Look at how far you have come, and then lift your eyes to where you are going. You are not the same person who entered the darkness. You are not the same soul who begged for escape. You are the evidence that the storm could not win. And now, as you step into this next phase, remember, you are not just receiving a new life. You are becoming the proof for everyone still lost in their own night that dawn is possible. You did not read all of this by accident. You did not arrive here just to close this video and go back to life as if nothing had shifted. Something inside you knows that this moment is different. That this is not just another message, not just another wave of motivation that will fade in a few hours. Deep in your spirit, you can feel it. This is a turning point, a line in the sand, a quiet but irreversible before and after in your story. Look back for a second, not with regret, but with clarity. You walked through seasons that almost destroyed you. You stayed when it would have been easier to disappear. You outlived storms that tried to convince you your story was over. You carried loneliness, confusion, heartbreak, loss, and you did it without a manual, without guarantees, without knowing when it would finally make sense. And yet, even in your lowest moments, something in you refused to die. A tiny ember stayed lit. You did not always feel strong, but you did not let that ember go out. That alone tells heaven everything it needs to know about you. Now look at where you are. You are not perfect, but you are awake. You are not finished, but you are transformed. You may still have questions, but you are no longer who you were when this chapter began. The fear that used to paralyze you does not grip you the same way. The pain that once defined you is now becoming context, not identity. The darkness that once swallowed you whole is now behind you. And even if there are shadows still around, you have something you did not have before. Light on the inside. A knowing. A sense that the worst is behind you and the best has not even fully introduced itself yet. This current window in your life is sacred. It is not just a random stretch of days. It is a portal where everything you became on the inside is calling your outer reality to match it. Heaven has already whispered yes over your name. The question now is not whether you are chosen. You are. The question is whether you will live like it. Whether you will finally release what you were never meant to carry. Whether you will close doors that have stayed open far too long. Whether you will forgive so fully that the past loses its grip on your nervous system. Whether you will dare to expect more than survival. You stand at a crossroads between the old story and the new one. One road is familiar. It is paved with almost, with maybe someday, with low expectations and self-doubt disguised as realism. You know that road well. You have walked it many times, and you already know where it leads. The other road is unfamiliar. It requires you to believe that you are worthy of peace, of joy, of love that does not demand you shrink. It requires you to act like the universe is actually on your side, like God really did not bring you this far just to leave you where you are standing. It requires courage, yes, but not the loud, dramatic kind. It asks for quiet, daily courage. To say no when you used to say yes, to say yes when you used to hesitate, to choose truth over comfort and purpose over approval. The portal does not stay open forever. Opportunities do not wait indefinitely. You know this, because there were times in the past when you felt something calling you forward and you delayed, and the moment passed. This time, heaven is giving you another chance, but with more wisdom, more maturity, more proof of who you really are. You have seen yourself survive your own worst days. You have evidence now that you are stronger than your fear, that you are loved beyond your mistakes, that you are guided even when you feel lost. You are not starting from zero. You are starting from experience. So this is your invitation and also your confirmation. The chapter of endless testing is closing. The chapter of alignment, of manifestation, of purpose in motion is beginning. That does not mean there will be no challenges. It means the challenges ahead will build you, not break you. It means you will no longer walk into battles wondering if you are alone. You will walk knowing that heaven has already gone ahead of you, already rearranged the path, already marked the doors that are yours and the ones that are not. You will see evidence. You will see doors open that make no logical sense. You will see people show up at exactly the right time. You will see old desires awaken in a way that no longer hurts, but excites you. You will see resources appear for what you are called to build. You will see yourself responding differently to pressure, not because life suddenly became easy, but because you finally became aligned. These are not fantasies. They are natural consequences of an inner reality you have already stepped into. From here on, your life is no longer just about getting through the day. It is about living as proof. Proof that the storm does not have the final word. Proof that brokenness is not the end of the story. Proof that faith in the dark eventually turns into light you can see. Proof that a human being, fully surrendered and fully alive, can change the atmosphere around them without shouting, simply by existing in truth. So take one more deep breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your heart beating in your chest. You are still here. That alone means there is more for you than what you have already seen. Let this be the moment you decide, quietly, firmly, without drama, that you will not go back to who you were before this awakening. You will not shrink to fit old rooms. You will not dim your light to comfort those who prefer the dark. You will not pretend to be powerless when heaven has spent years proving the opposite to you. You are chosen. You are ready. You are standing in the doorway of a new life that has been waiting patiently for you to catch up to it. Step through. Even if your legs shake, step through. Even if your voice trembles, speak as if you believe it. Even if your mind still whispers doubt, let your spirit answer with certainty. The old world has had enough of your energy. The new one has been prepared with your name written over it. Walk forward now, not as someone begging for a chance, but as someone finally claiming what was always meant for them. This is your new beginning. This is the other side of the storm. This is the life your soul has been trying to lead you into from the very start. And as you move into it, remember, heaven is watching, angels are working, and absolutely nothing can stop what is aligned with who you have finally become.